This is not going to be your typical video on AI. AI comes with a lot of baggage, both from the creator side and the consumers. But beyond the moral and ethical questions around AI, I want to spend the next few minutes on the biggest issues for filmmakers, why AI is anti-cinema, and why collaboration is the one thing it cannot replace. Martin Scorsese recently joined the board of an AI company that is trying to make the storyboarding process perfect. Before we go any really deeper into the topic, I want to bring up a video that I go back to over and over again whenever I want to engage in this topic with anyone. Brandon Sanderson, the author of The Way of Kings, he finished Wheel of Time. He released a video on his thoughts on AI, especially when it first emerged, and to kind of sum up my initial thoughts on AI as a whole.
I have a bit of a bone to pick with AI. People use AI for all sorts of interesting things. My stance is, as I've said before, a little against it in creative endeavors. I'm concerned. One of the things I'm concerned about is a lot of people are saying, well, I'm an AI artist because I'm putting in the prompts. Again, intelligent people can disagree, but let me show you something. This right here is the beautiful art by Ben McSweeney of the axe hounds from the Stormlight Archive, right? Now, I came up with the idea for this artwork. I went to Ben and I said, I want it to look like this, X, Y, and Z. And he came back with some sketches and I said, change this, be better at this. And I pushed him pretty hard. It's one of the pieces that I specifically art directed myself. And at the end, we have that gorgeous piece from Shalon's sketchbook, these creatures from Roshar, the creatures I've come up with, but I pushed and Ben drew. I would never put my name as the artist on this piece of art. This is Ben McSweeney's art. He did the art. Now, I gave him the prompt. Yes, I asked for it. I commissioned it. I pushed him on it, but it's his art. And this is kind of my worry with some of the AI things with writing and with art that's happening. Being an art director does not give you ownership over the piece. And in this case, no matter how good your prompt, no matter how much you refine, you aren't making the art. You are acting as an art director, perhaps. You are commissioning a piece of art, but the machine is making the art. And so that is why I have a bone to pick with that definition. I don't think you're an artist. I think you might be an art director to a machine.
What makes film really unique is that it's built off the backs of collaboration. You can find your favorite director and they'll have artists they work with. Artists that during the process of filming will bring the best out of the director and the director them, and thus the project. The process of collaboration requires both artists to be allowed the room to be creative. The director sets the groundwork, the direction for the artist, and then the artist is allowed to dream inside that framework. If you, as the director, can go and make the art that you would have required an artist for exactly how you initially imagined it, you're removing the collaborative process and the collaborative thought that makes film special. You see, AI is trying to make the production process easier in all aspects. It's not just storyboarding. You'll see the same thing for editing. Put in your video, you put in a bunch of prompts, and it's spitting out a video for you. And then you can put in more prompts and it'll make adjustments. But some of the greatest films that I know were made in the editing room between two artists, not one. And even as someone that did the editing for his own feature film, I hated that. I wished I had another editor in that room that could challenge every single one of my ideas. And through that process, we could make something even better. That process is what makes every moment better. You see, inherently, the collaboration is what makes film unique. It's the actor that reads a line of dialogue and says, that character wouldn't say it like that. It's the cinematographer that points the camera in a unique position and says, let's try this. And it's the editor that comes in with a unique, fresh perspective. AI inherently makes the film process easier to become a one-man army. But film was never meant to be a one-man show. Going back to Brandon Sanderson, he has a keynote speech on AI, and he talks about why he avoids AI from the point of view of the artist. I'll link that video in the description below, but if there's something that I took from that video is that even if you think AI is all bad, something positive you can take is that in the current age of AI, I think all artists need to sit and reflect on why they're creating art. And the other point is, it's the process that makes your art, not the product. That holds weight from the creator standpoint, but what about the consumer? Why should consumers avoid AI? I think consumers will avoid AI by the end of it all, in the same way consumers have grown tired of current blockbuster films. People are tired of seeing their art feel like a product. People go into a movie to connect with an idea, with a person. They want to feel moved. They want to feel that connection. Consumers can feel when a film is made in a boardroom with no leg to truly stand for something, when it feels like a product. Art in its organic nature truly displays the artist's inner emotion, the inner ideas that become something tangible. That idea and that feeling is what connects to an audience. When you go watch Get Out, you get to truly experience what Jordan Peele imagines his greatest fear is. He displays that to the best of his ability in his authentic form, but that comes to life with the collaboration and the team he's put together. The collection of artists he has working on that project moves in his direction, and that's how you end up with a film like that. The one-man army under the guise of AI loses you everything that brings a film to life. The use of AI is anti-cinema because what makes it intriguing in the first place is that it's cheap and efficient. You don't need to spend money on the storyboard artists. You don't need to spend time with them if you can put in a couple of prompts and it'll come exactly how you imagined it. But what about that time you told the artist to draw something and he didn't really draw it the way you imagined it? In fact, he drew it a completely different way. But that drawing gave you an idea on a new way to think about the scene. And the new scene is in fact better. You see, using AI to create art is inherently treating art like a product. And I don't know what to tell you if you don't think that consumers won't feel that. I mean, Mandalorian, just look at the box office. If that's not something to tell you, then I don't know what is. The audiences will feel it. If not today, then tomorrow. My name is Kizzer. I'll see you next time. Later.